Hello everyone, welcome to BFM's 89.9 Seconds, a show in which we do our very best to give you a taste of the news headlines in just under 90 seconds. I'm Lee Chwi Lynn. Joining me today is Sharaad Kuttan, Jason Lim and Nadia Hassan. On the bill today, it is bombs, banks and Bung. Let's get started. First up, we have the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and to talk about that is Sharaad Kuttan.
I hate to quote Sylvester Stallone, but who drew first blood? And I think it's that question really helps us understand the way in which different media, especially international and local, think about the question of Palestine and the recent flare-up. So you have locally a framing of the larger terms of this, right? So it is the occupation, it is the intifada and the resistance to it. But I think for a lot of the Western media, it really starts with the kidnapping of the 3 Israeli boys.
Because that's what sells. But that's what sells.
No, it's more than this.
It is a moral issue. You strike in them where they feel.
So I think this is it, right? So for us in Malaysia, we're exposed to both. We're exposed to the story that begins with the 3 boys, then goes to the Palestinian boy who's murdered, then his cousin who gets beaten up.
Killing,
But there's also the other story, which is the larger one. Now the question is, when we look at this, how we thinking about it, and how's the media helping us think about it?
What's involved in covering the larger one, though? I mean, do you need to understand everything that came before in order to truly frame this, very emotional, very violent story that's happening?
I think
with these
so.
boys?
I think history and social context and the geopolitical issue are very important, because if you just focus on the moment, you're likely to get a somewhat distorted issue.
But if you just look at it this way, it's so much bloodshed, 3 more, 4 more.
But no, it's important.
How does it matter?
That's the other side of it. And I think that's equally important. Because
And our second story is banks and mega mergers. Nadia.
Basically, what's happening is CIMB, RHB Cap, and MBSB are all getting together and having a big party and talking about, whether they should make one gigantic bank.
Are we invited to the party?
No, unfortunately, you're wondering whether you're going to be benefiting from this party, because look, you're taking away actually literally 3 banks. You're making it into one mega bank. We are held enough as ransom to our banks as it is. Is this better for us, though? Is it good for them?
Workers? And I think the NUB has come out and saying, well, they're disappointed, they're not being consulted. Every time there's been a merger, they've not been consulted, and people lose jobs.
Hey, but darling, it's business. Come on, man up.
For consumers, on the long term, will it be scales of efficiency? Will there be closing down of branches? Will there be inconvenience?
Well, it isn't just about business, because Bank Negara has to decide. So this has to do with government policy.
Bank Negara has to just approve what they have.
So they decide, and they have to decide based on a whole range of considerations beyond the purely commercial one. So it isn't just about business. It is about the implications.
But come on, you're talking about a bank that's bigger. The 4 biggest in the region. Well, come on, it's huge.
The country is either committed to competition, in which case it doesn't want to create monopolies or huge companies, and it might be concerned about employment and the well-being of its citizens. There are all kinds of considerations beyond business.
I find it hard to believe, though, that the primary considerations wouldn't still be commercial, though, by and large.
For the banks, yes, and that's what the merger talks about.
You're talking about huge money.
I'm talking about Bank Negara's approval.
And our third story is about Bung, social media, and an absolute lack of grasp on history. Jason.
Should our MPs be allowed to go on Twitter anymore?
I'm not sure.
I mean, look at
or
this.
Facebook.
After MH370...
Or Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. We've been, our country has been under so much international scrutiny from the media, and here is a guy who goes and just says the most...
Heil Hitler! That's what he exactly says.
And it's been picked up around the world. Really.
Okay, are we feeding the troll? I mean, should we in fact even be talking about this issue? Because Bung clearly gets a rise from this. I mean, he was very happy. He announced on Twitter that now he's a star. He's a
he's better than you. That's why you can see this.
Yeah, okay, overall.
He's gone on to say.
Overall, right, I always think people should always have a filter when it comes to online, whether you're a politician or, the 9-year-old down my street who wants to tell about my life.
Okay, I think the issue for Najib and his administration is he finding it difficult to keep his people on message?
He openly chastised them, though.
He did, but it took him a bit of time to get there, one. And two, the question is, he says, take down the tweet. It's out there in the world, taking it down doesn't mean anything.
He's the Prime Minister. Does he have to put up fires like this every time? Is that his role?
Also, is it supposed to be his role to keep people on message when it comes to social media, which is ostensibly supposed to be just about anything I want to talk about?
Well, it's not about the social media. It's about the image of his party. So, if Bung could have 2 accounts, one for himself and one as an MP,
And that is it for this, our very first episode of BFM 89.9 Seconds. If you have any comments, do leave them in the box below. And for more videos like this, subscribe to video.bfm.my. Thank you so much for watching.